Hey guys. Welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto had the Sharingan part 3. If you like this story, don't forget to like the video and give your thoughts in the comments as well. And do consider subscribing for more of these amazing contents. Let's start. Dear Ranks. Team 7, consisting of Naruto Uzumaki Uchiha, Sasuke Uchiha, and Sakura Harano were arriving at Training Ground 7, where their Jonin sensei told them to meet for their first mission. He's not here yet, is he? Naruto asked, though he knew the answer. No, and he probably won't be here for another few hours, Sakura groaned, and then she noticed Naruto's change in clothes. He switched out the bright orange jumpsuit for a black pair of pants, with bandages holding his kunai holster, and bandages wrapped around the bottom of his legs. He wore a dark blue shirt with it, tucked into his belt, and a black jacket with orange linings over the dark blue shirt, A/N, basically just Kid Obito's outfit, but the jacket and pants are black instead of blue, and he's not wearing goggles. Nice outfit, get tired of the blinding orange jumpsuit? She asked him, and noticed Sasuke smirk. Sasuke turned to Naruto, still smirking, and told you it was better, idiot. Hey. I liked the orange jumpsuit. It was nice and easy. Naruto snapped back. Sasuke made me get rid of it, he told me no Uchiha would be caught dead wearing that. He took me to a tailor. At first he tried to give me some of his emo clothes, Naruto started, and stuck his tongue out at Sasuke. Eventually, we found this. I decided it was a good compromise between what he thought an Uchiha should wear, and what I wanted to wear. Though, he turned around, and pointed at an Uchiwa on his back. I like wearing the symbol of my clan, and it's so hilarious whenever I see someone on the street do a double take. He laughed. Well, it's definitely an improvement, Sasuke sighed. If we dyed your hair then people might believe you were an Uchiha, without you having to activate your Sharingan. Naruto shrugged. It's funny to see their reaction every time I do activate it. Don't act like you haven't saved a few of their reactions with your new Sharingan. Sasuke just made a barely audible HN sound as a response. Wait, Sasuke, you activated your Sharingan? Sakura asked, eyes wide. Yeah, he activated it last night. Naruto told her, and stopped her before she could speak again. Don't ask how, Sharingan usually don't activate from positive emotions, and I don't think he wants to think about it anymore. Oh. Sakura trailed off. Well, now half our team has Sharingan, maybe I'm next. She joked, trying to lighten the mood. Actually, Kaka-sensei has one too, so it's more like 2.5 out of 4. Naruto told her, getting looks of shock from both of his teammates. Kakashi has a Sharingan? Sasuke asked, eyes wide. Naruto just stared at him for a few seconds, surprised that he didn't know. Yeah, you really didn't know? I think it's why he covers his eye all the time. It's implanted, so he can't deactivate it. He explained, and saw Sasuke's eyes flash red. Hey, calm down. It was back during one of the wars, and I doubt the old man would have put him in charge of the 2 last Uchiha if he thought he'd steal an Uchiha's eye, you know. Oh. Sasuke said, his eyes deactivating. Sakura just stood there, watching the exchange until it hit her. I'm the only one on this team without a Sharingan? That's so unfair. She complained, and Naruto just started laughing. Well, since Kaka-sensei probably isn't going to be here for a few more hours, Naruto said, and turned to Sasuke. Want to start training our Sharingan? Sasuke just shook his head, surprising both Naruto and Sakura. You may be an Uchiha and have a Sharingan, but your taijutsu is still awful. I don't know what they were teaching you, but not even the Sharingan can make up for that mess. I'm gonna take this time to teach you the interceptor style. He motioned for Naruto to follow him to the field. Since we don't have time to teach you from scratch, activate your Sharingan and watch me. Awful. It was enough to land a hit on Kaka-sensei, you know. Naruto groaned, but followed him anyways, activating his Sharingan. Yeah, because you surprised him. Sasuke slipped into the interceptor style, and Naruto followed along with his Sharingan. 2 hours later. Naruto and Sasuke were panting on the field. Naruto laid out on his back while Sasuke was just barely keeping himself up by putting his hands on his knees. Sakura was watching them from the side, unsure of how she could train with them. That was the scene that Kakashi Hatake saw, as he finally arrived, 2 hours after he told them to get there. He body flickered in front of Sasuke, who fell on his back and instinctively activated his Sharingan. He awakened his Sharingan, too, he thought, and looked between his two exhausted students. Ma. Not very smart to exhaust yourself before a mission, is it? He told them with an eye smile, and then noticed Naruto's clothes. He muttered Obito just barely loud enough for Sasuke to hear and raise an eyebrow. We know it won't be anything dangerous, Kaka-sensei. We aren't stupid, you know. Naruto shouted at Kakashi, and Sasuke just made a HN sound. Minutes after Naruto and Sasuke started training. Wait, maybe we shouldn't do this, Sasuke. What if we're exhausted when he finally shows up, so he makes us stay in the village instead of doing a cool mission, like saving a princess or dash? Naruto was cut off by a blow to the stomach, and looked up to see Sasuke. Are you stupid, Naruto? No one starts off with big missions. We'll probably just be painting fences or something. But we both have Sharingan, Sasuke. It'd be such a waste if they had the two last Uchiha just painting fences. Naruto whined. And how much more of a waste would it be if they sent out their two last Uchiha and we died on the first mission? Naruto opened his mouth to prepare to respond, but stopped himself because he couldn't think of anything to say. I guess you're right. Naruto conceded, and they went back to training. Back in the present. Sasuke stared at his sensei, putting pieces together in his head. Naruto said he has the Sharingan. And he called Naruto Obito when he saw his new Uchiha outfit, he thought, and decided to just be upfront and ask. Kakashi. Yeah, Sasuke. Can you show me and Naruto your Sharingan? And can you tell us how you got it? I'm sure you can understand our curiosity. Sasuke asked, using as much politeness as he could manage. Kakashi just stood there for a bit, and Naruto walked over, starting to get his breath back, and sat down by Sasuke. Sakura was watching from the side of the training ground. She was curious, but knew it was more important to Naruto and Sasuke than it was for her. Kakashi looked down at the two Uchiha. Naruto, the spitting image of his dead sensei, wearing the clothes of his dead comrade. Sasuke, who would look so much like his elder brother, Kakashi's failed student, if he had the same stress lines by his eyes. I guess. Kakashi started, his mask of carelessness gone for the moment. He pulled up his forehead protector, revealing his singular, 3-tomo Sharingan. I got it on my first mission after I became a Jonin, when I was around your age. This got a look of surprise from the genin, but they stayed quiet. During the war, my team was tasked with infiltrating enemy lines. We ran into some issues along the way, and my teammate, Rin Nohara, was captured. My other teammate, Obito Uchiha, wanted to go and rescue her, but I told him that we needed to complete the mission. We went our separate ways, but the guilt eventually got to me, so I went to help Obito. We were attacked, and he awakened his Sharingan. We managed to save Rin. But the enemy collapsed a cave on top of us. Obito was crushed by a falling boulder, half his body was destroyed. His final gift to me was this. He pointed at his eye, and recovered it with his forehead protector. He gave me his Sharingan because I'd lost my eye earlier in the fight. Kakashi explained, and turned to look at Naruto. Those clothes. They look almost exactly like his, but the black areas were blue. Obito is why I put so much emphasis on teamwork during the test. Obito once told me those who break the rules are scum, but those who abandon their friends are worse than scum. He finished, and waited for a reaction. Sasuke held a stoic expression, while Naruto looked at Kakashi with compassion in his eyes. The silence held, until it was broken by, to everyone's surprise, Sasuke. Kakashi. Sensei. I am sorry. His voice was shaky, and he was looking down. Kakashi looked at him, confused. Sorry for what, Sasuke? Sasuke looked back up at Kakashi, and then his gaze shifted to Naruto, and back to Kakashi. After that man killed my clan, he started, before deciding to correct himself. After Itachi killed my clan. I thought I was alone in the darkness. His Sharingan activated when he mentioned Itachi, and he closed his eyes. I didn't think that anyone else could understand. He was cut off when he felt a hand on his shoulder, and looked up to see Kakashi, a knowing look in his one visible eye. It's alright, Sasuke. I know what it's like to feel alone. Just rely on your comrades, and I hope you'll learn your lesson without a comrade dying to get the point through. Kakashi told Sasuke, and then stood up. Alright, team. Let's head to the Hokage's office for our first mission. Later, somewhere in the village. Sasuke, I'm at point B. Sakura, I'm at point C. Naruto, I'm at point A, believe it? Okay, Squad 7, the target has moved. With that, Naruto and Sasuke activated their Sharingan, and prepared to capture their target. Team Sharingan is on the move. Naruto shouted, earning a facepalm from Kakashi. But I don't have a Sharingan, Naruto. Sakura shouted back at him. Sasuke grunted, let's just get this damned cat. Naruto and Sasuke jumped at the cat from either side, yet it somehow managed to dodge them, despite their legendary dojutsu. Luckily, when it bolted from them, it ran right into Sakura. Woohoo! Naruto cheered, while Sasuke walked over to the cat, Sharingan still blazing. He had scratches down his arm, thanks to the cat they had been chasing for around 10 minutes. Sakura, Sasuke started, drawing her attention. Point the cat's eyes at me. I'm putting it in a genjutsu for the hell dash. Sasuke. What the hell dash? Sakura started, but was cut off when she saw Naruto's Sharingan blazing too. No. I think I actually agree with SAS dash. Naruto and Sasuke were both cut off when Kakashi showed up and took the cat, Tora, from Sakura. Ma. I don't think the daimyo would be very happy if you tortured his wife's cat, even if you are the last two Uchiha. Come on Kaka-sensei, I was just gonna scare him with a scary dog or something. He'd be fine, Naruto argued, and they headed back to turn in the cat and get the money for their mission. Mission Assignment Desk. Team 10, consisting of Ino Yamanaka, Shikamaru Nara and Koji Akimichi, were walking into the room with their Jonin sensei, Asuma Sarutobi, trailing behind. Already inside the room was Team 8, consisting of Shino Abarame, Hinata Hyuga, Kiba Inyazuka, and Kiba's dog, Akamaru. Their Jonin sensei, Kurane Yui, immediately walked up to Asuma once he entered the room. Oh, hey guys. Kiba greeted as Team 10 entered the room. Now if Team 7 shows up, our whole graduating class will be here. Oh, I hope Sasuke-Ino started, but everyone's attention was drawn to the entrance. Oh, come on Kaka-sensei. Just a little genjutsu, I promise he'll be fine. Naruto argued, still determined to torture the cat. Kakashi just kept walking, and handed the cat off to Iruka. Naruto, I said no. Kakashi told him, and noticed all eyes in the room on them. Genjutsu. Shikamaru echoed, narrowing his eyes at Naruto. Weren't you absolutely useless in Genjutsu at the academy? And what's up with your change in dash? He started, but was cut off by a squealing sound coming from his teammate. Sasuke! Ino shouted, and tried to jump on Sasuke, who just dodged and let her hit the floor. Troublesome. Shikamaru mumbled, before continuing his thoughts. Naruto, what's up with your change in outfit? Did someone finally burn that hideous orange jumpsuit? He asked, and suddenly everyone was focusing on his new clothes. I think it looks nice. Hinata stuttered, and became red as a tomato when Naruto grinned at her. Thanks, Hinata. Sasuke made me dash. Naruto began to explain, but was interrupted by Ino getting off the floor behind them and noticing the Uchiwa symbol on his back. The hell? Why do you have Sasuke's symbol on your back? Ino screeched, staring at the back of his new outfit. Naruto just turned his head, activating his Sharingan once it was out of view of the others so he could save the look of shock on her face, stunning her into silence. Ino just stared at him, mouth agape and eyes wide. Naruto deactivated his Sharingan, and turned to face the others. Like I was saying, Sasuke made me get a new outfit when he found out I'm an Uchiha like him. He told them, just getting looks of disbelief from everyone, while Sasuke smirked from the side. Pfft, as if the dead last could be an Uchiha. Kiba shouted, and Naruto just gave his trademark mischievous grin, while Sasuke continued smirking at the situation. Naruto turned around and pointed his thumbs at the symbol on his back. Shikamaru, noticing Sasuke's smirk and silence, narrowed his eyes even more. Wouldn't Sasuke be yelling at him if he was lying? Could Naruto actually be an Uchiha? Shikamaru thought, then looked to Ino. Just the Uchiwa wouldn't be enough to stun her into silence. What did he show her when he turned around? This was the moment that Naruto decided to show them his Sharingan. I'm an Uchiha, believe it? He shouted, and activated his Sharingan. The others stared at him, completely caught off guard, as his eyes turned red and two tomo spun into existence around his pupils. Sasuke decided to activate his Sharingan at the same time, and both the Uchiha saved their reactions with their Sharingan. Even Asuma and Kurane, who Kakashi had already told, were shocked to see the blonde with Sharingan, and Kakashi quickly removed his headband to save their reactions, before replacing his headband to save Chakra. Hinata, Kiba, and Koji stared at his Sharingan, shock evident on their faces. Shikamaru had begun to figure it out, but was still shocked to have his theory confirmed. Shino's shock was covered by his glasses and high collar, but even he had an air of shock surrounding him. Those who knew, Sakura, Iruka, Hiruzen, Kakashi, and Sasuke, just smirked at the reaction, while Naruto busted out laughing. When Naruto's laughter finally faded, silence filled the room, until Akamaru barked and knocked them out of their silence. You have the Sharingan? Kiba shouted, followed by Shikamaru muttering something that sounded like troublesome. Hinata stared at Naruto, deactivated Byakugan staring into Sharingan, her blush from earlier being replaced by the shock of the situation. Are we absolutely sure he isn't just pranking us with contacts? Kiba asked. Because we all know how much he loves to prank people. Shikamaru shook his head. We saw him activate it. I don't know about you, but I've never seen a pair of contacts that could activate and deactivate. Kiba just kept staring at Naruto. Maybe it's a genjutsu. Maybe he learned them somehow. Or maybe he convinced Sasuke to dash. Shikamaru just shook his head again. Do you really think Sasuke would go along with something like this? If you really want confirmation, just ask Hinata to confirm it with her Byakugan. Shikamaru told him, and Kiba turned to face Hinata with a questioning look. Hinata. Please. he asked, and Akamaru barked his agreement. Naruto just kept watching the scene, Sharingan memorizing the reactions, with a goofy grin on his face. Hinata blushed with the attention focused on her, and raised her hands, and went through the necessary hand seals for the Byakugan. Alright. Byakugan. Her pupils became defined, and the veins around her eyes bulged out. With the Byakugan, she could see nearly 360 around her and could see the chakra, and chakra points, in people's bodies. When she focused on Naruto, she could see the chakra focused in his eyes, and the chakra in Sasuke's eye. It's real. Sasuke has it too. She stuttered, and then noticed the chakra around Kakashi's covered eye. So does. Kakashi-sensei. Really? Kiba shouted. Does everyone on their team have the Sharingan? That's so unfair. Ma, I only have one. Kakashi told Kiba, and quickly raised his headband to show his Sharingan, before lowering it again. And it's not as good as theirs will be. Yeah, and I don't have a Sharingan at all. Sakura told them, a hint of annoyance in her voice. It's alright, Sakura. You're smarter than I am, so it balances out. Naruto grinned at her, attempting to reassure her. Anyways, we want another mission, old man. He shouted, turning to Hiruzen. Naruto. Sakura shouted, and ran to punch him in the head, but he dodged her because his Sharingan was still activated. Be respectful. He's the Hokage. There's the usual Sakura. Naruto grinned. You haven't even tried to hit me since I told you guys about my Sharingan. I thought something was wrong. He said, still grinning while scratching the back of his head. Kurane took that moment to clear her throat, catching the attention of the genin. Well, my team needs to go. Come on, teammate. I'm sure you'll all see each other again soon. Bye Kiba. Bye Shino. Bye Hinata. Naruto told the leaving team, earning a wave from Shino, a blush from Hinata, and a grin from Kiba. Bye Naruto. Hinata stuttered out. Bye Naruto. Don't think that you're better than me just because of your fancy new eyes. Kiba shouted, and Team 8 left the room. After Team 8 left, Shikamaru walked up to Naruto, and looked at his Sharingan. Doesn't that use a bunch of chakra? Should you really be keeping it on for no reason? He asked Naruto, and looked over to Sasuke, who had deactivated his Sharingan. Naruto just looked at him confused, and then over at Sasuke. Does it? He asked, looking at Sasuke. I haven't noticed any drain on my chakra when I've been using it. I could keep it on all the time if I wanted to, I just don't feel like memorizing every detail of my day. Sasuke shrugged in response, before reactivating his own Sharingan. Not really, I only feel a minor amount of chakra being used when I use my Sharingan. From what I can tell, I have pretty above average chakra reserves, at least for my age, but he trailed off, looking at Naruto. Your chakra reserves are massive. I doubt you'd notice the drain. He finished, before deactivating his Sharingan. Naruto looked down at himself, looking at his own chakra, and then looked at the chakra of the others in the room, before deactivating his Sharingan. I guess I do. He said, scratching the back of his head. Oh, hey, Kakashi. Yes, Naruto. Kakashi asked, turning away from his conversation with Asuma. Does your Sharingan use more chakra because you aren't an Uchiha? I noticed that there's more chakra concentrated in your eye than there is in my eyes or Sasuke's eyes. Yeah. Like I said before, you and Sasuke will have better Sharingan than I once they're fully developed. Based on what I've read, something in your Uchiha brains connects to your eyes, and you can either channel chakra to your eyes or cut it off. I don't have that, so mine is constantly draining chakra that I can't cut off. Basically, mine wastes chakra. Kakashi explained, and turned back to Asuma. Oh, that's pretty cool. Hey, Sasuke, do you know what would happen if we channeled more chakra into our eyes? He asked, his attention shifted back to Sasuke. Nothing would happen, you have to unlock the next stage. You can't force it, idiot. I really need to show you the Uchiha library. Sasuke deadpanned at Naruto, which Naruto just responded to with more scratching of the back of his head. But I don't want to read. It's so boring. Naruto complained, and Sasuke rolled his eyes. You do realize you can read way faster with your Sharingan, right? And everything gets memorized. Huh, I never thought of that. Anyways, let's get another mission. Naruto said, attempting to shift the conversation. Troublesome. Shikamaru muttered, and then looked at his two teammates, still staring at Naruto in shock. Ino, Koji, let's get out of here before they drop some new bombshell and your eyes completely pop out of your heads. Shikamaru grumbled, before starting to walk out, followed by his two still shocked teammates after a few seconds. Well, Asuma, you should follow your team. My cute little genin still want to do another mission. Kakashi walked away from Asuma and up to the mission desk. If your team is done for the day, you could probably still catch up to your girlfriend. Kakashi gave one of his signature eye smiles at the end, directed back at Asuma. Yeah, I should probably dash. Asuma started, before registering Kakashi's remark at the end. Wait, girlfriend? Asuma asked, and glared at Kakashi, who just turned back to the desk and waved Asuma away. As Asuma left, Kakashi said, yeah, you guys don't exactly make it subtle right before the door shut behind Asuma. Kakashi turned his attention back to his genin, and saw Naruto looking expectantly up at him. What mission are we going to do now, Kaka-sensei? Naruto asked. Something better than catching a cat, right? How about this? Something that'll put those Sharingan to work? Kakashi said, and held up a scroll for Hiruzen to read. What do you think, Lord Hokage? Hiruzen looked over the scroll, and smiled. Oh, yes. I think that'd be perfect for our two, young, Uchiha. Naruto's eyes lit up in anticipation. What is it, old man? It's gotta be amazing to require the Sharingan, right? He asked, excitement filling his voice. Sasuke, however, could see the look in the Hokage's eyes, and knew it'd be nothing fun. Sakura just looked between Naruto and Sasuke, secretly jealous about the eyes of her teammates. Kakashi held up the mission scroll for his team to read, and once again showed his signature eye smile. He watched as the three of them read the scroll, and watched as Naruto's face fell and Sasuke's became one of annoyance. Map making. Naruto whined. You asked for something that'd put those Sharingan to work, right? Well, what better than a Sharingan to copy maps? Kakashi told him, and Sasuke glared at Kakashi. Sakura can help with sorting the maps, while you two little Uchiha copy as many maps as necessary. He said, and turned back to Hiruzen. We accept this assignment, Lord Hokage. With that, Kakashi left the room, and the two Uchiha glared at him. Sakura was just smirking. Your Sharingan aren't so great now, are they? Your hands are gonna be so sore when all this is over. She snarked at them, before realizing it was aimed at Sasuke too. Wait, not you Sasuke. Your Sharingan is still dash. She started to backtrack, but Sasuke was already walking away. Naruto and Sakura followed behind them, and they all headed to their next tier rank. 2 hours later, Ichiraku Ramen. Ah, man. My hand hurts like hell. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura were getting dinner after finally finishing their tier rank assignment. Naruto was shaking his right hand, trying to get the aching to stop. Sasuke was rubbing his eyes, which were hurting after using his Sharingan for so long. He had larger than average chakra reserves, but he still wasn't used to keeping his Sharingan active for so long. Naruto, thanks to his massive chakra reserves and enhanced recovery abilities, was able to adapt much quicker than Sasuke was, but his hand was still tired from all the writing. Sakura was lucky, she'd gotten the easy part of their assignment. All she had to do was hand them the maps to copy, and sort the maps once they were done. Maybe it stopped hurting if you stopped shaking it, idiot. Sasuke said, staring at Naruto between eye rubs. Well, maybe your eyes would stop hurting if you stopped rubbing them. Naruto snapped back at him. Sakura watched the two of them and sighed. Naruto, just let your hand rest. Sasuke, you need to use some eye drops. She told them. How can the last two Uchiha be so bad at dealing with soreness? She asked, and began digging in her pouch, before pulling out eye drops and handing them to Sasuke. Here, they mentioned something about this in the academy when going over dojutsu, and I figured eye drops might be necessary on a team with two Uchiha. Sasuke took the eye drops from her, dripped them into both of his eyes, and blinked a few times. Thanks, Sakura. He told her, which was met with a blush. Cha! Take that, Ino pig inner Sakura screamed, and Sakura turned away to hide her blush. You're welcome, Sasuke. Sakura said, and turned back around once she felt her blush recede. Naruto, who was letting his right hand rest, was digging into his ramen with his left hand. You'd expect it to slow him down somewhat, but he was already on his third bowl. Ramen. Kami's gift to mankind. He exclaimed, his mouth still full of ramen. I love dash. He was cut off by a hand to the back of his head, and turned to look at Sasuke. Hey, what the hell? Sasuke just grunted. Don't talk with your mouth full, idiot. It's unbecoming of an Uchiha. Yeah. Don't act like I didn't see you do the exact same thing with tomatoes yesterday. Seriously, what's up with that? Tomatoes? Naruto asked him, making an exaggerated face of disgust. Sasuke glared at him. I like tomatoes. Have you ever even tried one? All I see you eat is ramen, at least tomatoes are healthy. Well. No, but they're plants. How could that be tasty? Sakura was just watching the back and forth between the two Uchiha, before realizing what Naruto just said. Wait, you've never had a tomato because it's a plant? Do you eat anything healthy? She asked him, with actual concern on her face. Naruto just thought for a moment, way longer than anyone should think about whether or not they eat healthy, and started counting stuff off on his fingers. Well, there's some healthy types of ramen. And I eat apples sometimes. Sometimes the old man will force me to eat somewhere other than here, but he hasn't been taking me out to eat as much lately. There's also, He trailed off, coming up blank, earning even more concern from Sakura. What the hell, Naruto? Did anyone teach you to dash? Sakura started to ask him, before remembering that he grew up alone. She saw his face drop a bit, before he started smiling like he usually did. She didn't realize it before now, but this smile looked less real than the one she saw when he was actually happy. I'm sorry, Naruto. I didn't think dash. It's fine, Sakura. He told her, cutting her off, and slurping down his bowl. I'm done. He said, and pulled out his frog wallet and put money on the table before Sasuke could stop him again. I'll see you guys tomorrow. He waved at them, and walked out of the booth. Naruto. Sakura started, and stared at where he left, her face full of guilt. She turned back to where Sasuke was sitting when she heard him put money on the table, and get up to leave. Don't worry about it, Sakura. I'll go talk to him, I've been meaning to ask him about something anyways. Okay, Sasuke. Sakura watched him exit after Naruto, and pulled out her money to pay for her meal. Naruto was walking down the street, heading back home. It'd been a bit since the incident with Mizuki, and he'd started getting closer to Sasuke after he told Sasuke he was an Uchiha, but it still hurt to think about how lonely he was growing up. He understood why people treated him the way they did. He'd probably be scared of someone with a demon in their gut too, but it didn't make it hurt much less. He'd noticed how people started treating him differently when he started wearing Uchiha clothes, or when he was walking around with Sasuke, but he could still feel the glares. His only consolation was the knowledge that his father, the Yondaime Hokage, thought he could handle the Kyuubi. He still hadn't told his teammates about it, and he was scared of what they'd think. Naruto was lost in thought, and tensed when he felt a hand on his shoulder, but relaxed when he looked back and saw Sasuke. "Oh, hey Sasuke," he said, as he stopped walking and turned to face Sasuke, and noticed the concerned look on his teammate's face. "I'm fine, really." "You sure? Because I don't think I've ever seen you eat less than 5 bowls in one sitting," Sasuke told him, a smirk on his face, but the concern was still obvious. "Like I told Sakura, I'm fine," Naruto replied, and turned around to keep walking, before Sasuke grabbed his arm. "Naruto, something's bothering you. You helped me when I needed to face what he did, so I want to help you," Sasuke told him, not letting go of his arm. Naruto tried to wrestle free of his grip, but couldn't get Sasuke to let go. "Just let me go, Sasuke. I don't want to talk about it." "You may not want to, but you need to talk about it, Naruto. There's obviously something that you need to get off your chest, and I won't leave until you tell me." Sasuke tightened his grip on Naruto's arm, and Naruto just sighed in return. "Fine, but not here. We're close to my apartment, so I'll tell you there." Naruto conceded, and Sasuke let go of his arm, then followed him to his apartment. Inside Naruto's apartment, Sasuke looked around his teammate's apartment, and couldn't help but compare it to his own. It was smaller than his own, and it was a mess. "He lives here?" He couldn't help but think to himself, but was brought out of his thoughts when Naruto started talking. Naruto was sitting on his bed, while Sasuke stood in front of him. "I'm sure you've noticed how people have always hated me, right?" Sasuke nodded at that. At first he'd figured that it was because all the pranks Naruto did, but he realized that no amount of pranks could make the village hate a child that much. "It's been like that my whole life. People would always ignore me, or just glare at me. Whenever I tried to play with other kids at the park, their parents would take them away. Shikamaru, Koji, and Kiba were the only ones that would always hang out with me at the park, but they had to go home at some point, and I was always left alone at the end of the day. It hurt, and I started pranking people so that people would give me some kind of attention, even if it was the bad kind, though the pranking was a lot of fun." Naruto gave a weak smile at the last part. "But why would people treat you so badly? I've noticed you get glares when we're walking around, usually from civilian families, and occasionally some random shinobi. Have they always treated you like that?" Sasuke asked, and Naruto nodded in response. "They have, as long as I can remember. I didn't find out why until the night after I failed the graduation exam, the night I awakened my Sharingan," he explained, and Sasuke started to put some pieces together. "Was finding out why the reason you awakened your Sharingan?" he asked, and Naruto just nodded his approval again. "Do you remember learning about the Kyuubi attack 12 years ago?" Naruto asked, and Sasuke nodded, a little confused about the seeming change in conversation. "Well, it happened the night I was born. We were told that the Yondaime Hokage sacrificed his life and killed the Kyuubi, but that wasn't the whole truth. From what I was told, the Kyuubi is a mass of chakra, so it can't really be killed. It would just reform over time, and the Yondame's sacrifice would be for nothing. The only option was to seal it, but it's too powerful to be sealed in an object, so he had to seal it in a baby. Naruto explained, mentally bracing himself for the only reactions he expected coming, fear and rejection. Sasuke's eyes were widening in realization, as the pieces started to click together. The glares and the loneliness he saw in Naruto was because of this. He could see that Naruto was scared of his reaction, and he wasn't sure what to do, so he just asked the obvious. And he sealed it in you? Naruto nodded, not looking him in the eyes. Yeah. Naruto started, staring at the wall behind Sasuke. I have the Kyuubi sealed in me, he told Sasuke, and channeled chakra to his stomach as he lifted his shirt, revealing the seal. I understand if you dash, he started, but was cut off when Sasuke put a hand on his shoulder. Naruto, it doesn't matter. Sasuke told him, and Naruto finally looked Sasuke in the eyes. He was expecting fear, hatred, or disgust, and was surprised when he saw acceptance. You're my teammate, and a member of my clan. I'd never turn my back on a comrade. I just have one question. He told Naruto, removing his hand from Naruto's shoulder and putting both hands in his pockets. You want to know why I was chosen, right? Naruto asked, and his question was met by a nod from Sasuke. Well, this is a pretty big secret, so you can't say anything to anyone. Not that I think you would, but I just have to tell you that. A bigger secret than a demon sealed in you? Sasuke asked him, confused and curious. Yeah, the old man told me. I'll have to let him know in the morning that I told you about all of this, though he was probably expecting me to at some point. He told Sasuke, and sheepishly grinned while scratching the back of his head. All right, just tell me already. Well, the Kyuubi is really powerful. It has to be sealed in someone with naturally large chakra reserves, but they have to be young too. A fully grown adult's chakra systems, or whatever the old man called it, can't adapt to the chakra of the Kyuubi. According to the old man, my mother comes from a clan who have naturally large chakra reserves, so I could handle the Kyuubi being sealed inside of me. There were probably other options in the village, other kids with large chakra reserves. He trailed off, and Sasuke just continued to stare at him. Are you gonna finish? Sasuke asked, eyebrow raised. The Yondaime knew it would have to be sealed in a child, and, fortunately, his own child had just been born. That night, he continued, and Sasuke's eyes widened again. He knew he couldn't ask someone else to give up their child if he wouldn't do it himself. Naruto finished, watching Sasuke's reaction. You're the son of the Yondaime? Sasuke asked in shock, and Naruto nodded in confirmation. Wait, didn't you say your father was actually an Uchiha? The Yondaime was an Uchiha? Now that he'd been told, he could see the similarities between Naruto and the pictures he'd seen of the Yondaime Hokage. However, he couldn't believe that Minato Namikaze was actually an Uchiha. Yeah, crazy, huh? Apparently he didn't know himself, and never awakened his Sharingan. The old man was so shocked after he saw my Sharingan that he tested my blood, my mom's blood, and my father's blood to see what side I got my Sharingan from. Naruto finished, and Sasuke just watched him, shock evident on his, normally stoic, face. So, your father, the Yondaime Hokage, Minato Namikaze, was an Uchiha. He sealed the nine-tailed fox within you. His son. To defeat it? Sasuke summarized, and Naruto nodded, glad to have it off his chest. That's why everyone avoided you. Why everyone shot glares at you. That's so unfair. Sasuke told him, emotion in his usually monotonous voice. Naruto, on the other hand, was smiling. Not his usual fake grin, and not his mischievous grin, but an actual smile of happiness. He'd been so scared of rejection, that he was actually expecting it. He never thought someone could know the whole truth and actually empathize with him. "Thank you for trusting me with this, Naruto," Sasuke finished, getting over the shock of it all. "Well, you kinda didn't leave me a choice." Naruto laughed. "You probably would have broken my wrist if I refused any more. Besides, it was only fair. You told me about your issues, and I was going to tell you about this eventually anyways. I was scared that you'd hate me for it. Anyone who would hate you for this is an even bigger idiot than you are, idiot," Sasuke told him, his shocked expression replaced with his signature smirk. "Yeah, wait, hey. We were having a moment here, you know," Naruto yelled at him. "Why'd you have to go and ruin it like that?" "Hey, it's not my fault that you're an idiot," Sasuke smirked at him. "Anyways, are you gonna tell Sakura?" "I'm sure Kakashi already knows." "Yeah, Kaka-sensei knows about all of it. He was my father's student, after all," Naruto explained. "Though, I'm scared to tell Sakura. I don't know how she'd react." If she reacts badly then just ignore her. She's not really important. If she can't see you for you then she isn't worth your time. Hey. She's still our comrade, you know. Why do you always act like a dick to her, anyways? She really likes you?" Naruto asked him, and Sasuke grunted. "She's just a fangirl. She's been less annoying since we became a team, but she's not doing anything to advance her skills as a shinobi. She doesn't even eat properly, she's way too thin to be a shinobi. Even her friend, Ino, is better. At least Ino actually trains with her clan," Sasuke explained, and Naruto couldn't help but agree. "Yeah, I guess you have a point there. She'd probably work harder if you told her to. Though. Maybe we could ask Kakashi about getting her some personalized training?" Naruto suggested, and Sasuke shrugged. "I guess that'd work. It'll have to wait till tomorrow, though. It's getting really late, let's head to my apartment," Sasuke told him, and began to walk towards the door. "Your apartment? But it's late, and we should probably get to bed soon," Naruto asked him, eyebrow raised. Sasuke turned back to him, and motioned for him to get up. "Naruto, this place is a mess. I don't know who decided to let you take care of yourself, but no one should live by themselves in a place like this. I have a spare room at my apartment, and you may as well stay in it, since we're from the same clan. Grab a change of clothes to wear tomorrow, and we can come back for the rest once we're done tomorrow." "Wait, really?" Naruto asked, excited at the idea of living with someone else. "Yeah, now come on. And, as a bonus, if you're living with me, you'll start eating real food," Sasuke said, and walked out of Naruto's, soon-to-be former, apartment. Naruto grabbed a pair of clothes for the morning, followed Sasuke out, and the two of them walked to Sasuke's apartment. And that was the end of the third part of this story. Comment your thoughts on this. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next part. Peace.